So basically we have two sessions are there in report builder. One is data model, another one is layout model. Okay. The report builder is having these two sessions. While working with these two sessions, we can develop the report manually. Okay. So here, say example, yesterday we done one report, right? Okay. Before going to run the report wizard, so through wizard, so first what we are going to do, we need to write a query, right? So once we completed the query, then only we can possible to develop the report. Suppose we are not completed the query. Just imagine, without having query, how you develop the report? We cannot possible, right? So that is the reason first we develop the query, and then here in this report session where we want to develop the query, in data model we are going to develop the query. Okay. Basically in real life we are develop the query from backend. That query directly takes into the data model. Because of we cannot possible to check whether the query is getting the genuine record or not. So from backend only we can possible to check it whether the query is getting a proper record or not. That is the reason we are checking from the backend and will be paste the query in frontend. Will be paste in frontend. Here once it is completed, next. So here every report contains the parameters. Every report contains the parameters. Say example, bus ticket. Okay. If you go to book the bus tickets, definitely we should pass the parameter from date and to date, or else destination and source. Okay, that two parameters we can pass. So suppose say example from destination. Okay, means sorry, source. Source is Hyderabad and the destination is some other Bangalore. Okay, these two we want to pass the parameter, then only we can run the report. So here in this data model we can possible to define the parameters. We can possible to define the parameters. Next, we can do the calculations. Yesterday we discussed, right? So what is the calculations? Suppose how many members are travel, and what is the total amount, and what is the tax amount, what are the maybe. Okay, that all information will be kept into that respected calculation. That calculation is also done in data model only. Okay, then calculations. Calculations, right? So once will be completed, then here observe this one. Whenever we are using the data model, in this data model, basically this query will be going to done in SQL prompt. Okay, in that SQL prompt we develop the query. That query will be placed into the data model. Because of we cannot possible to directly develop the query in data model. So we want to develop the query in SQL prompt. That query will be pasted into the data model. Okay. Next we can apply the parameters. Next we can go for the calculations. So what are the calculations? So how many members are travel, and what is the total amount, what is the tax amount, what is the commission amount, whatever it may be. That entire information will be going to be calculated in data model. Okay. Then once we completed this part, next we enter into the layout model. Here we are going to design our layout. Design our layout means our report. Our report is look like as a every report output contains 3 sessions. What are the 3 sessions? So here we have header and body and footer. Every report contains a layout contains 3 sessions. The 3 sessions are header, body and footer. So this header will be display the respected logo and company information and address information. And next in body we are going to display the fields, which are the fields you want to get the data from the database. Suppose for example I want to retrieve the employees information. So that employees information means which fields we want to display? Employee number, employee name, job, salary. That all information will be going to display to the body session. So whatever calculation will be done in data model, that calculation information also will be displayed as a field in body. Okay. Next, coming to the footer, here is there any terms and conditions that will be going to specify into the footer. Okay. Once we completed this entire thing, then next we are going to run the report. Before run the report, we want to check the errors. Suppose say example we done report, right? Up to now, here we design we develop the query and apply the parameters and do the calculations. Coming to the layout model, here we design our output, how our output is going to display. Okay. So finally, I am going to check in whether my report is having the error or not. Errors is or not. Say example, every time we write a query, select start from EMP. Suppose we miss the colon, directly we can put the enter. What happened? It is showing some error. So you miss the colon or you undefined, it is going to getting some error. That will be going to display. So in this point of time here, I want to check whether my report is completed successfully or not. So then for that purpose we are going to compile the report. If you click on that compile report, system clearly shows us the report is having the errors or not. If the errors doesn't have, then automatically it is successfully completed. If any error is there, it is automatically show us so and so errors are coming from so and so area. Okay. Then once the errors will be found out, suppose our report does not have any errors. Then now we can go to run the report. Run the final report and able to see the output of our report. All of you clear? ఇక్కడ చూడండి అమ్మా ఏం లేదు. యాక్చువల్గా మనం ఒక రిపోర్ట్ డెవలప్ చేయాలంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, not only report builder, okay, in the market we have so many reporting tools are there, 100+ reporting tools are there in different software applications. If you work any reporting tool, we should use the queries. Okay, so query only get the data from the database. Reporting tools does not get the data from the database. Okay, once you completed the query will be placed into the reporting tool. Now the query is executed successfully and get the data from the database. Okay, మనకి ఏ రిపోర్టింగ్ టూల్ ఇప్పుడు ఉండేవి కాక ఇంకా తర్వాత వచ్చేవి ఏమున్నా కూడా క్వెరీ ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి. సో query, without query we can't develop any report. Yesterday also we done reports, right? But yesterday also we run we specify the queries, right? So that is very important. Without query we can't possible to develop any report. Okay, so that is the reason first of all we want to understand how we develop the query. Okay, all of you know that how to develop a query, right? That is the reason once you are eligible to develop the query, now we can easily develop a report. Okay, coming to here in this point of time here, what happened means we develop the query in SQL Plus. Okay, once the query is completed successfully, that query directly paste into the data model. So why because we directly paste the query in data model. In report builder we cannot possible to check the query whether it is working or not. Okay, మనము ఒక query అనేది SQL prompt లో చేస్తేనే చెక్ చేసుకోగలుగుతామంట అది వర్క్ అవుతుందా లేదా అనేది. అదే రిపోర్ట్ బిల్డర్ లో క్వెరీ రాసామనుకోండి ఓన్ గా, we cannot possible to check because of some errors is also coming, right? So suppose select star from EMP. Okay, suppose we are missing select from EMP, we miss the star symbol. Here it is showing error, but we cannot possible to understand where the error is coming. That is the reason first of all we are going to develop a query from backend tool. Then that query will be pasted in directly in data model. So in that data model we paste the query and will be going to. So if in case your report is having any parameters, suppose say example bus ticket. If you go to bus ticket, they are going to pass the parameters is destination and source. Suppose say example if you want to see the bank statement, in bank statement also from date and to date, that two are the parameters. If you want to access the Gmail account, again we can pass the parameters. So every report contains the parameter. So for that purpose Here we can specify the parameters in data model. Okay. Next we can go for the calculation. Calculations means here what are the calculations are there. Okay. Suppose say example, how many members are available in that report, and what are the ticket price, and what is the total ticket price, and what are the commission price, and what is the tax information. Everything will be going to calculation will be done in data model. Okay. Once this part is completed, now we design the layout. How report is going to look like. Ela kavali, we report. Then coming to layout model. Here we can design the layout. Every report contains 3 sessions. You can choose any report. You can choose any reporting tool. These 3 sessions is common. Suppose if you go to learn the SAP, if you go to learn the mainframes, or if you go to learn the another MS Dynamics, any reporting tools contains these 3 sessions. Okay, header, body, and footer. Header is indicate what are the company logo and company name and company address, everything. And body is indicate what are the fields you want to display from the database. Okay, and also in body we want to display the calculations. Actually we done the calculations in data model. That reference column will be directly placed into the body. Okay, and next footer, is there any terms and conditions or signatures that will be specified to the footer. Okay, once the report is completed, up to this session the report is completed, but here till now we don't know whether the report is completed successfully or not, because of we done so many errors. We are the humans, we done so many errors for every task. So now I want to know what are the errors is occurred in my report. So for that purpose we want to compile the report. We need to compile it. It's a very important one. Okay, you should compile the report, then only we can run the report. Suppose you cannot compile the report, directly run the report, it is showing some errors. If in case errors is there, the report does not generate it. That is the reason. First of all, we can check it whether our report is having the errors or not. For that purpose, we should compile the report and then we can go for the run report. Once we run the report and we will be able to see the output of our report. Clear? So in this point of time, we want to work with this report builder manual session. Okay. Now I can explain to you from scratch to ending. Okay, one by one.
Here we have 5 types, group left, group out. Like that we can create the group.
Everything will be do that.
But it automatically takes the group.
It is a simple report. We are not completed the report. We are not completed, right? We have so many sessions. Okay, it is a first session.
So we have a chance to.
Definitely, definitely. Have you accept this report? Suppose you are the client, you want to require to develop the reports. Have you accept this report output? It is a simple report only. This is the basics. Okay. The next level we can go for the different. What are the modules are there? All modules I will explain to you. Clear, all of you? Okay. Just you can write it. The notes. Just quickly you can open that. Develop a report through manually. Develop a report through manually. First, open the report builder. Open the report builder. Here we can choose the build a new report manually button. Here we can choose a write it fast. Here we can choose a build a new report manually. Here we can choose a build a new report manually. Next. Click on OK. Next line. Click on OK. Just you can arrow like that. Arrow పెట్టుకొని రాసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళండి. Click on OK. Click on OK. Next line. Now we enter in data model. Now we enter in data model. One second.